After watching that 96 minutes of football, I need a bag of cans, and I need the Baldy Barisic back now.
Glorious! No, I won't give in till I'm victorious!
Hello everyone, this is CJ Novo 992 and today we are back with another brand new video. Today's video we have reached the last recap of the season and where we're going out on a high. I think when we all saw the lineup we all knew that answer. But before we actually dive into the recap itself, I just want to give you a massive thank you for all the support throughout the entire year. I mean, when we started this season off doing the recaps, we had about 10,000 subscribers. We are now up to well over 28,000. I can't thank you guys enough. It is genuinely incredible. If you are new around here and you haven't hit that subscribe button yet and you want to help us on our way towards 55k, make sure to be hitting that subscribe button. It's down there. It's free. Doesn't cost you anything. But without any further ado, let's actually jump in and talk about this weird game of football then, shall we? 3, 2, 1. Kilmarnock 2, Rangers 1. Now, if you're coming into this video expecting a fan rant, like you're not a subscriber to the channel, you're coming here to laugh because I'm going to be going crazy, you are not going to be seeing that. Because this wasn't a game of football, this isn't what we all thought it was going to be. Like, on the build-up to the game, there was a lot of talk about history, the post-split. If we win them all, it'll be the first time we've ever done it in our history. It was a great potential moment. A strong team was going to go out there and win it. Then, we all had to just take a step back when we saw this starting... Can we just throw the starting 11 up just there? What is that? When that came out, every single person knew it wasn't a game that we were going for. This was a last-ditch attempt for a couple of players to save the Rangers' careers. That's what it was. It was an audition to be here next year. And if I'm being honest with you, a lot of them failed. And before we go any further, I just want to show a wee bit of respect to Kilmarnock as well, because obviously I'm going to be focusing on this Rangers team. We all knew what was actually happening, but Kilmarnock done their job. They needed to win. They got the win, and they managed to qualify for European football. The first time since 2001, I believe, and it's the highest finish since 1961. I may or may not be wrong about that last stat. And when the final whistle blew, you saw some of the fans, like some of these older people who's probably been going there supporting Kilmarnock for umpteen years. That's their highest finish they've seen in 70 odd years. That is just beautiful, and that's what football's all about. You saw the emotion, you saw the tears, and based on what they've done all season long, being able to consistently perform. I mean, they lost their best player in Greg Stewart in January. He was like their top man, yet they rallied, they continued, and they finished third in the league. So before I go any further, I just want to say congratulations and well done on stopping Aberdeen. What did it cost stopping Aberdeen for finishing third? Simple, losing the last game of the season, giving them a late penalty and playing Andy Firth in goals. But all joking on that aside, let's actually recap the game. Kilmarnock did take the lead in the 9th minute through a goal from Chris Burke. It was a long ball where Barisic just completely, and I mean completely, left his man, was miles and miles away from where he should be. What has happened to Bonnebear Barisic? I mean, look at the pictures. Are they even the same guys? I'm convinced they aren't. That isn't that. Right, the bald one had 7 assists in his first 12 or 13 games. The one with actual hair hasn't had an assist in 22 matches. What has happened? Like, is it just me? Like, am I the one that's taking crazy pills here? Or there's something going on with Bonnebear Barisic? Is he just terrified to play for Rangers? Because if I'm honest, that is how it looks, and it's a shame because he's got so much talent and so much potential. He's a Croatian starting international, but whenever he pulls on the Rangers shirt, it just looks like it's far, far too heavy for him. And while you're getting your thoughts and opinions out there on the Barisic mystery, let's continue with the actual goal. Chris Burke does a beautiful first touch off his chest and finishes very, very smartly down to his bottom left. He could score that for that tight angle, but he can't score for 4 yards out versus Celtic. Okay, Chris. And the goal for Kilmarnock kind of sparked the game into life. You had Ryan Kent doing a beautiful run inside the box, killing 3 people with skill moves, and it was ended up being blocked and very well saved by Jamie McDonald, and the goals by the Kilmarnock goalkeeper. And then from there, the game just kind of fell away again because it sort of came back to Kilmarnock being very comfortable in the ball. They knew they were winning at that time. Aberdeen wasn't winning at that time, and it was just very, very flat. You saw Rangers not even push for it, barely even put any pressure on. All the high press, the intensity, the quick passing over the last 7 weeks that we've seen, when the majority of our first teams actually playing, was all completely gone. It was kind of back to old Rangers throughout the early on in the season. You know what I mean? Force feeding Alfredo Morelos, just trying to get him to the 30th goal, and then force feeding Ryan Kent, even though he's got 5 or 6 men running him. There was no one else busting forward. Like, Halliday had to do Barisic's job for him, like in the left back. So Halliday was playing in 2 positions in the game, so he couldn't put another body there forward. You had Glenn Kamara trying to do what he's been doing the last couple of weeks, but you can clearly see that there was something just missing in the overall game. The intensity wasn't there at all. It was just a bit of a dead dead rubber game, and that's really, really unfortunate, because that is what I hoped it wouldn't be in yesterday's prediction video. I really expected us to go after them, but we just never, and that is why we ended up losing the game. We're actually going to jump way over to the second half, because nothing else happened in the first half at all. It was that boring to watch. Now, when the second half came out, everyone was expecting Gerrard to rally these boys who's playing for their futures and show that they deserve to play for the Rangers. Did we see that? Not really. I mean, Kilmarnock started off stronger once again and ended up making it 2-0. It was a shot that ends up getting smashed right into Ryan Kent's face. Malumbu reacts quicker as Connor Goldson and Joe Worrell was caught sleeping. Not for the first time. He tries to actually just go round Foringham, but Foringham does a wonderful kind of tackle save with his hand, gets the ball completely fair. It was actually a fantastic, underrated little bit of movement from Foringham, showing once again he's got a bit of class. But he wasn't just happy with stopping someone that was trying to run round him. No. He was straight back up on his feet and he ended up pulling off another very good save with his, I think it was his left foot as well, from the upcoming shot from the Kilmarnock player. Then I think personally the turning point is when Malumbu sort of elbowed Ryan Jack, and Ryan Jack just got pissed off. You saw it. I mean, he was arguing with the referee because he didn't even want to go off the field. He wanted to stay there and he wanted to get back amongst it. And when Ryan Jack is angry, I think that's the best Ryan Jack that there actually is. And it just sort of spread throughout the entire team. He started to drive the ball forward, started to run with the ball, which he wasn't doing before that in the overall game. And he ended up getting his due rewards a couple of minutes later when it was actually a beautiful bit of movement. He ends up cutting it right to Alfredo Morelos. And what a phenomenal shot from Alfredo Morelos. You saw the good, the bad, the ugly, all in this game, and Alfredo Morelos is genuinely just box office. He gets his 30th goal now for Rangers this season. Only the 6th player in the last 50 years to reach that tally. I mean, he joins complete and utter upper echelons of Rangers strikers. I mean, you've got Derek Johnson, Mark Hateley, Ali McCoy's, Marco Negri, that one season wonder before the squash incident. And last but not least, you've actually got the Kilmarnock captain himself, Mr. Chrissy Boyd. That's right, Alfredo Morelos joins them. And Alfredo Morelos has missed 10 games this year because of suspensions. That is a frightening stat and shows just how good Alfredo Morelos actually is. Now we need to turn our attention to the penalty incident now, because Kilmarnock gets a penalty kick, which, I mean, see when you've got like Craggs or whatever the hell he likes to call himself on BT, and then you've got Chris Sutton say, how can that be a penalty but the foul on Connor Goldson not be a penalty? It's exactly the same. That says it. Oh, I shouldn't even need to say anything else. I mean, the referee gave Kilmarnock the day that they wanted. They gave him the goal. They gave him the penalty to make sure they finished in 3rd place. That's the only way you could say it. I'm not saying that he's pure biased or anything like that. Oh, everything's against Rangers. He saw an incident involving Connor Goldson with the exact same clear sharp pull. He doesn't give it. He waves on, saying there's no enough in it. Then Barisic pulls exactly the same, barely touches the man. Now I know Barisic is stupid and he gives the referee the decision to make, but the referee makes it because of the day, and that is what the game actually ended on. There's no way in hell that can be a penalty kick, but the Connor Goldson will be a penalty kick. No being biased, no being blue tinted, just take a step back and let's discuss it. It's the exact same. If he gives one, how can he not give the other? Where's the consistency? Ironic. But again, these things happen in football. Sometimes you get them, sometimes you didn't, but it just feels with Willie Collum, he was waiting for that moment and he certainly got it. But it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. That was the game. That was all done and dusted. Some of the players were obviously rested. You had Nikola Katic out the team, you had Arfield, you had Tavernier, some of the boys that ran themselves silly all season long. There was just a missing spark, there was a missing intensity. It was a bit of just a dead rubber game, and that is actually how this season has ended. But am I angry? Am I disappointed in the overall season? There is obviously some disappointments, but I think you can sit back and just look and say we have definitely made some improvements. That last 6 or 7 weeks with the full starting 11, the proper players actually playing in the right positions, you can see now we've clearly got a formula now that knows how to win games. We're no longer inexperienced at winning. We know how to win games when our actual team is there. So some of the people saying, haha, Gerrard lost his last game of the season, he's absolutely shite, is talking mince. And I mean, we could dive into the individual player performances, but we've already spoke about Barisic. I mean, Daniel Candeias hasn't kicked the ball for Rangers for about 4 or 5 months. He genuinely is the Portuguese Jason Holt, and I'm not trying to be overly harsh with that. If you think about Jason Holt as a player, what did he do? He ran his heart out each and every single time he played for Rangers. He was never ever outworked by anyone, but he just wasn't good enough on the ball. He wasn't consistent enough on the ball below. So we went and got upgrades. We got Arfield, we got Stephen Davis, and it was a clear upgrade on Jason Holt. And I genuinely think, as much as I love Daniel Cades and I love his absolute work rate, he's just not good enough on the ball. And if we want to go where we want to go, we need consistency coming out of that right mid spot. And if I'm honest, I didn't want to just come here and slam the Rangers players, because again, it's no rant material-esque. It's the last game of the season. We tried something different. We gave everyone a chance and they just failed their own audition. And I think with that being said, that's the perfect way to end the final recap of the season. What did you think about the game? Let me know your thoughts and opinions down there in the comment section below. And while you guys are doing that, it's time to jump over and hear from the people. There wasn't really any man of the match contender, so we're just going to read straight from the actual comments. The first one actually comes in from Batchy. He says, feel like that was one of those games for FIFA career mode when all the shite players in your team keep saying they want to start in the game because they have spoken to their agent and realise you aren't fulfilling their contract. That's pretty much spot on, mate. Scott Young says, don't care, gutted we didn't win, but at the end of the day the game meant nothing and I'm happy the sheep aren't in Europe. Gary Stephen writes in, BB needs to be yetted the F out of this club. Dapo is basically a god. Fantastic the fact that you've mentioned Dapo. I've actually forgot to do it during my recap. It was great to see him. I've watched him play against Falkirk a couple of weeks ago and he was probably the best player on the field alongside Josh McPake, and it was so great to see him getting stuck in. A couple of times the Kilmarnock players came from, gave him a wee kick, but he's strong, he got in, done a nice little couple of flicks and was involved in a lot of attacking moves. He is definitely one for the future, the young wonder kid. Gary continues with, Andy Firth can kick a ball pretty far. Also, Alfredo Morelos is a goal scoring machine, but that's where the positives end, to be honest. Embarrassing performance, embarrassing pitch, embarrassing everything. It's as simple as that. Tom writes in, crap, the only player who stood out for me today was Kent. He was first class, apart from those free kicks they were. And the last two or three we'll read out in the final recap of the season. The first one comes in from Ian McDougall. He writes, versus Kelly, we have dropped 10 points out of 12, have we not? That's the league right there. And the last one we'll actually read out in tonight's video. We'll scroll all the way down here, we'll scroll all the way up here, and we'll stop it right there. And it comes from Jonathan. He writes in, Kelly wanted it more. BB had an awful game, but it was never a penalty. We missed Scotty Arfield big time. So there it is, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, for the final time this season. You've heard from the people, you've heard from myself. If you haven't done so already, get your thoughts and opinions down there in the comment section below. And as always, if you're free on June the 8th, you want to come watch a wee bit of charity football, links for that will be down in the description below. It would mean a lot to me if any of you can buy your tickets and help support the cause. And as always, shout out to the absolute legends on the Patreon account, which is helping to support the channel and continue it running. I've been CJ Nova92. Thanks so much for watching, and bye.